Logan is back once again. This time we are debuting the NBA Power Poll 30 all the way up to 1. We got categories. Logan has put them together. So let's get started. Who do you have in this first tier?
All right. In my first tier here, we have the not good section. So these teams, we got six teams in here. I'll start from 30 to 25. Number 30, we got the Kings. They're just horrible. They have a lot of guys out for season. Some good young pieces there to that is fun to watch, but besides that, they're just getting blown out in a bunch of games. Although they did beat Dallas last night, which is a little frustrating because I feel like every time I take a super big Kings spread, they always get demolished and don't cover. And then when I don't take them, they usually cover that number or win outright. But yeah, the Kings are the worst team in the league. Number 29, got the Wizards. They have a lot of good young talent, and I think they can be quite competitive next season. But as of now, they're playing a lot of like their two-way guys and these 10-day contract guys. They've done two 10-day contracts for Kadari Richmond and Alondas Williams, which is like it's cool to give guys opportunities, but your team is going to be horrible. Moving on, Nets at 28. I wish they were better. It's not like they're really sitting anyone or have anyone on injury. They're just kind of bad right now, which is a little surprising because they were good earlier in the season. Like, it's not like they got hurt or anything. Like they're still kind of the same roster. You could even argue that it's better with some of the stuff that happened after the trade deadline. But no, they're just getting their asses kicked lately, and they're actually 17-point underdogs against your Celtics tonight. And I am very, very tempted to bet on the net spread, but we'll see. 27 Pacers. Um, you know, they're giving guys opportunities to develop. I think Quentin Jackson has been really fun to watch. He's a guy they have on a two-way contract. Hopefully, he can be a standard guy for them next season. But others, Micah Potter's been hitting a lot of threes recently, and they're a fun home team to watch. But they're just not that good. They get blown out a lot. 26 got the Bulls. This one pains me a lot because these lineups they have around Giddy right now are just so not optimal for Giddy's skill set. And it sucks that Anthony Simons got hurt because he was going to kind of just be like that sharpshooter that Giddy could pass out to. But this isn't all about Giddy. The team is just kind of bad right now. They don't really have much identity at all, and they're getting blown out a lot. They're 0 and 11 in February. 0 and 11. So it's pretty grim for Chicago right now. And then 25, the Jazz, they still got good guys playing, like good talent. It's just, this league is so good that you got to be better. And, Nurkic is out for the season. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out for the season. Markkanen's about to be out for 3 weeks with a hip injury. And then Keontae George hasn't played in a while either. So they're really in the dumps, really in the trenches for who is actually playing games for them. But yeah, that is my not good section.
So looking at this section, something that I really wanted to throw at you. So we got, I would say, with the bottom third of the league, from as we'll get to with 20 all the way down to 30. Of I would say the this tier right here. So these bottom six teams, if a certain way that the ping pong balls will fall in the draft lottery. So it's pretty much a consensus of a top three, although this draft is really loaded, the 2026 draft. We have Cam Boozer, DeBonsa, and Peterson. And for these bottom six teams, I'm kind of intrigued to get your thoughts on who we would want to get a top three, like the top three, and who we would want to see selected with the top three. I think that'd be fascinating. I do think it would be hilarious if Darren Peterson would go number one overall to the Kings. I think that would just like pretty much doom his career. And I think, De'Aaron Fox was solid, but it's kind of just a wasteland in Sacramento, like you were talking about with them. Um, I think fascinating and probably a best case scenario for DP would be going to the Pacers. I mean, teaming up with Halliburton and all the players that they have. They got Zubac, right? So
Yes.
Halliburton, Zubac, Darren Peterson, all these guys. I think that would be really fascinating. I also think Boozer to the Pacers. Just if the Pacers end up with a top three pick, even then with Debansa, it would be insane. So
I was gonna say I think all three of the top prospects would be great in Indiana. Um, I think I think the Bulls, if they could get one of those, although the Bulls are a little higher in the standings, but if the Bulls could get one of those top three, that'd be huge. Utah, it'd be nice to see them get one of them. Wizards, I don't really think, they have a lot of young guys already, so there's kind of like a little pecking order thing that someone would have to deal with if they got drafted there. The Nets, not as much. I know they just drafted five rookies, but it's not like any of them are like really, really good right now. Like, I think any of these three prospects would already be better than all the five Nets first round picks that they had.
I think it would be fascinating too if the Mavericks were to end up with another top three pick. Just based off the fact that what Cooper's shown in his rookie year, plus Kyrie coming back. Can you imagine just, I mean, even Boozer on the Mavericks? Or, I mean, I personally haven't been totally locked in. I've tried to pay attention as well as I can, but I think Surefire is going to be a great player. I think Boozer. I think he's, I would say the 2020s version of Tim Duncan. Maybe, shorter, but just consistent. He's going to be like an 18 and 10 guy pretty much automatically when he gets into the league. The Bansa, I think, is, I mean, the ceiling, I think it's Paul George. I mean, I think he's right there. He's got the athleticism, the shot. He's gotten a lot better. He's really crafty. I mean, Bill Simmons was talking about he's kind of like Jason Tatum in his like year three and year four in terms of creation and passing. And then Darren Peterson, he was probably, people are saying he coming out of high school, like he was the most talented guard since like Vince Carter coming out of high school. So it hasn't really come to fruition yet with Kansas. I know. What are your thoughts on the whole like subbing himself out and he sat out against Arizona with the flu? Like, do you think it's more of an injury thing, or do you think it's more he's kind of just coasting, like kind of like Ben Simmons did?
No, I don't think he's like coasting it. I'm sure there's reasons to himself subbing himself out. I'm sure Bill Self is well aware of it too. Let's just keep this guy healthy, but we also need him to play. Um, I wouldn't say it's like a laziness type thing like Ben Simmons. I think there's some real like managing to the situation. Sure, it's a little much just to keep like subbing yourself out. I mean, I saw that turnover that happened whenever he tried subbing himself out, like someone passed him the ball while he was looking away. So like that stuff is a little annoying, but the overall situation and like I don't really mind it too much.
What do you have for the next year?
Our next year, we have another group of six teams. I call this group the no interest. At 24, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. Um, I love this team. I actually love all the players they have that are playing for them right now. It's just a lot of young guys, a lot of two-way guys, some 10-day contract guys. But the defense right now is just horrible. It's not like they have a bad coach or anything. I think their coach is actually pretty good. It's just that they're not really built to win games right now with these rosters that they're throwing out, but they're still talented and they're still fun to watch. At 23, I got the Mavericks. Flag's been out for a little bit, and they've kind of just they lost to the Kings last night, which is pretty down bad. I actually demoted them a little bit this morning because of that. Um, Shout out to Najee Marshall though. He had a huge game. I needed that in fantasy. Um, but I'm sure they just can't wait for the season to be over. And like you said, it'd be hilarious if they got a top three pick. 22, I got the Clippers. I'm a bit lower on them. I looked at other power rankings last night to see where my stuff was comparing. A little lower on the Clippers. Like Kawhi is still good. Matherin's doing pretty good. But I don't know like how great the team actually is. Like they were missing Kawhi last night and they only put up 87 points. Now, granted, they held Minnesota to 93, so it was like the defense kind of held up a little bit. But all in all, I'm just not a fan of the team. They're really old, and I'm excited for the future. Garland could come in and start playing well, and I'd raise them up in the power rankings. It's just where they are right now on February 27th. Moving on, the Bucks 21. They've been playing pretty decent lately. Their additions that they got at the deadline, Usman Dang, they signed Cam Thomas. They finally got Ryan Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr. healthy. and they've been playing pretty well. They've been pretty fun to watch. And I think Giannis will be coming back this season. So if that happens, they're definitely going to rise in this power rankings. The Suns at number 20. Now I have them quite low. Dylan Brooks broke his hand, and they've just been very bad without him. Now, granted, they beat the Lakers last night, which also caused a demotion for the Lakers this morning. But the Suns barely broke 90 points in the two prior games. They just can't score right now because Devin Booker is hurt, Dylan Brooks is hurt. And as much as I like Jalen Green, he's just not shooting well right now. So the team just isn't that good right now. Dylan Brooks was so huge for them, and now he's not out for the season, but he did break his hand, so he's going to be out for at least a month. And the Devin Booker injury, like he'll probably be back in a couple of weeks. I'm thinking, but without those two guys, they're pretty bad. And then the Hawks at 19. I actually do like the Hawks more than what this group name of no interest would suggest. But I'd say Kaminga had a really good debut. It seems like things might work, but Jalen Johnson also just got hurt, and it's not really clear how long he's going to be hurt yet. So they're kind of in the air on where they're like really at. If everyone was healthy, it's not really clear how good they're actually going to be. They're still going to be a play-in team, but I'm pretty low on the Hawks right now.
So my preseason, or I guess right as kind of the season started, I made a bet on Benedict Mathurin to win Most Improved Player. And I mean, it's not looking like that's going to happen, but it is looking right now, according to sports books. Jalen Johnson is the favorite to win Most Improved, and then Jalen Duren is at number two, and Denny Avdia at number three. So for that one, just to get into a little bit of awards talk, I know we'll really dive into it near the end of the season. Who would you have for your Most Improved right now?
Yeah, I'm good with any of those options really. Y- you know, sometimes with the most improved award, it's kind of like who just got more usage from the prior year. But there's also a question of can you hold up and can you still be efficient with more usage? And all three of those guys that you named have been doing it. I think Denny, like if we're talking like improved, like skill wise, because Jalen Johnson has been good the last 2 years. It's just Trae Young was there, DeJounte Murray was there. They kind of had to get people out of the way so he could really flourish as the number one. But I think skill wise, like Denny Avdia has improved very massively. Like his free throw attempts from last season to this season, I don't know the exact numbers at the top of my head, but he's increased those numbers by at least 5 free throws a game more attempted. So he's really getting to the rack. And but I won't be upset if any of those three guys win. I think they're all really well deserved because Jalen Duren's been a monster too. I'm not gonna let that slide. Like he's been amazing this season.
I didn't realize it until I saw some of his tape, but I mean his physique along with the touch that he has and some of the shooting and the dribbling, it's ridiculous. The Pistons, I mean, my Celtics, I'm a little scared if we have to play them. Rookie of the year. It's between two Duke guys, which it's been all season. But Con Knipple right now on DraftKings Sportsbook is the favorite at minus 125, and Cooper Flag is 105, minus 105. I didn't expect it. I thought it was Cooper's. I mean, I know we talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the season. It was a little shaky for Cooper, but I mean, these two Duke cats are something else. Con just passed 200 threes made on the season. I mean, what do you think his ceiling is? Like, or his floor Klay Thompson? Like, what are we looking at for him?
Yeah, I mean, he probably won't be the defender that Klay Thompson was, but he could definitely be like Klay Thompson and more on offense. Like we've seen him, attack closeouts, make the right passes, just really good feel for the game. And Klay Thompson did that too. But I mean, I think I don't mind people saying that he's better than Flag this season because I mean he's like we said he's broken the rookie 3-point record. He's leading the Hornets on this charge that they're on to fight for a playoff spot. So I really don't mind Khan winning it over Flag at all.
Who do you have for the MVP before we move on to the next tier?
Um, Um, I'll tell you what, I did bet a little bit on Jaylen Brown to win it 2 weeks ago because the odds were just really good and I couldn't pass it up. And I saw someone on Twitter kind of being like, why is no one talking about Jaylen Brown? So I'm kind of thinking that there's going to be somewhat of a discussion or conversation over the next few months, like, hey, why isn't Jaylen Brown an MVP? And then he's just going to kind of skyrocket. So I'm either hoping that he skyrockets and I can get a good cash out number, or he wins it overall and I get a good payout. But I I'm fine with anyone. I think it's I don't know, man. Like there's everyone's got good cases. I think my three favorite for the award is Shea, Jokic, and Jaylen Brown.
Because I think the thing
But
with
then
Jokic
but
is he
then you
can
could
only
say
miss
like,
like one or two games, and then SGA can only
yeah,
miss a handful. So that could
yeah.
work out in your favor with Jaylen Brown winning it.
But then you could say like Cade Cunningham is really deserving of it too, which is very valid.
I'd say right now if the 65 games really just screws over SGA and Jokic, I mean it has to go to Cade in my opinion. Just what he's been able to do, and I always kind of really liked him. I was really wanting the shooting to get there coming out of Oklahoma State, but the way he's able to carry himself. I loved his like the aura around him, and he just kind of has that quiet confidence that you know he's just gonna get it done at the end of the day. End of the day. So as we get to the middle, who is your 18 to 13?
Yep, another group of six. I call this section still fighting. 18, we got the Trailblazers. They've been playing well recently. They haven't been fully healthy for a few weeks. Denny's been missing some games. Klingon missed last night's game in Chicago. But overall, the team's playing well. Scoot's been healthy. Drew Holiday's healthy again. And they're really good on defense. And the offense, it's hit or miss with, guys being in and out of the lineup. But I think they could cause some trouble in the play-in tournament, and they wouldn't be an awesome first round matchup if they snuck that far, because I do think they are quite physical with the defensive lineups that they can throw out. And, on offense, if things go right, they can play really well because sometimes Kamara will have like 8 threes in a game. They just got my guy Krejci. I've seen that their offensive numbers with him out there, they've been really good. So at number 17, I got the Heat. They finally got Hero healthy and they've been playing well again. But sometimes they're just a little volatile and they'll lose a bad game. Like they lost in Milwaukee last week, and it's just things like that where it's like I can't take them too seriously, even though I like the way they play a lot. I just don't know if they are skilled enough to be, one of the teams that win a few rounds in the playoffs. So that's kind of where I'm at on the Heat. The Pelicans, their record is much lower than their power ranking, but they have been really good. Really good is strong, but they have been good for the last month or so. Trey Murphy's been a beast. They got DeJounte Murray back, who's been playing good. Um, Sadiq Bey had 44 points last night. Also, shout out to him. He's on my fantasy team. I needed that badly because I was kind of losing bad in the playoffs, which is irrelevant, but now I'm in the lead thanks to him and Najee Marshall. Um, but yeah, everyone's playing well. James Borrego's done a great job since he took over from Willie Green. 15, I got the Lakers. So they were higher earlier, but then they lost to the Suns last night, and I already did my Suns bit, who have been bad. And the Lakers lost to them. Aiton's been a mess. Oh my gosh, dude.
Seven stages of Aiden.
I don't even want to say anymore on the Lakers, man. I just can't wait for next season to start. Hopefully LeBron's gone. Hopefully they can like flip the page and just try and build around Luka and Reeves going forward if that's what they want to do. And I'm not anti-LeBron. I like LeBron, but I think it is time to turn the page. Um, 14, I got the Warriors. So they've actually been playing really good the last few weeks without Steph Curry. Like so many guys have been stepping up. Guy Santos has been playing out of his mind. Brandon Pajemski, Pods, he's been having 15 rebound games. He's had like multiple like upper double digit rebound games, which is crazy because he's like 6'2". Other guys been playing well, like D'Anthony Melton. Big Al Horford's doing well. Quentin Post hitting threes. There's just a lot of stuff on this team to like right now. Moses Moody, Will Richard, Gary Payton. It's just a really good coaching job by Steve Kerr recently without Steph Curry. and they've been winning games. And I kind of said it on our league pass tiers we did when Jimmy Butler got hurt. I thought that Jimmy Butler injury actually opened up the door for the Warriors to maybe, try out some new things, give guys new opportunities, and play well. And shout out to Pat Spencer as well. And then lastly, at 13, I got the Magic. It just, bad. It's just an unlucky bad season. Like Franz Wagner is hurt again for another 3 weeks. The Anthony Black emergence has been good. I think Paulo Banchero has been better recently, but also Jalen Suggs has just had some injury problems. It just sucks, but I still think they're quite talented and can put up good games whenever, they're really locked in. It's just they're not doing it consistently, and I can't trust them to win a first round matchup.
I have a team in mind. I don't know if I text it to you or somebody else, or maybe I've just been thinking about it. What team am I thinking about that I would just love LeBron to go to next season? If you had to guess.
The Warriors or the Cavs?
The Warriors. We need it. Give me that USA 2024 summer. Curry, LeBron, one more push. Yeah, the media would have a frenzy with that.
Oh yeah.
Him going back to Cleveland for a third time. Seeing him and Mitchell would be fun. Maybe he can be a mentor to Mobley. It can unlock something in him, maybe. What do you think? If you had to pick, who would you want him to be, Cavs or Warriors? Or if he wanted to be closer to his son in Tucson, he could go to the Suns.
I would say no to the Cavs, even though it would be a nice little homecoming and he probably wouldn't have to play that much. But I think the Cavs are kind of building something there that they wouldn't really want to add the LeBron factor to it. I don't mind the Warriors because it's kind of just like, why not? If we still have Curry, who's 36, why not just like try something? It's not like you even have to like play LeBron or pay him that much either. You don't have to pay or play him that much. And I mean, like from a business standpoint, LeBron and Curry would go insane. Those numbers would be ridiculous. Imagine all the marketing stuff you could do with that. So that's my take on that.
It could end up like the Lakers with Steve Nash and Kobe and Dwight, but it would be fun though. And it would put some butts in some seats. This one is the smallest tier. Give us the three-headed monster.
So this tier is could win around the Hornets. So they're still fighting, like they're in that playing spot, but they're playing good. They've been having an amazing 2026. And things are clicking. I've always liked this roster, and now that things are meshing well together, I feel pretty confident that if they got into the playoffs and something broke their way, because they're probably going to be maybe a 7 or an 8 seed, and you have to face one of the topper dogs. But say they snuck up to a 6 seed or or something like that, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a series a little close, a little feisty, and maybe even stole one. And I feel the same way about these other teams. The 76ers, they've been playing good. Embiid's been great. Maxi's been great, obviously. Edgecomb's been awesome. I think they had a good deadline. I think this Paul George injury was a blessing in disguise, so I think they could win around. I feel the same about the Raptors. They're finally healthy. They got Pirtle back. And they're just really good. I think like defensively, they got a good coach. And the offense isn't always guaranteed, but they have a lot of options on that team on who can score. So I think any game in a playoff series, you could have the RJ Barrett game, you could have the Scotty Barnes game, even the Quickly game, something like that. So that's where I feel on those three teams. I think they could potentially win a round.
Of the three, who would you bet on to win a series if you had to bet?
Probably the 76ers. I think Maxey is just that good and Embiid's been playing really well. And if he's healthy for a playoff series, I think they could definitely win one.
So it would be if the playoffs were to start today, it would be Toronto versus Philly, or no,
No,
it would be
it would
Cleveland
be
versus
Nick.
Toronto.
Yeah, Cleveland, Toronto, and Knicks, Philly.
Knicks, Philly. I could see Philly shaking that up. I mean, that would be a dogfight. And
Yeah.
then Charlotte, if they were able to somehow win the play-in, I mean, they could get a little feisty with Detroit. But I mean, I think I'd have to agree with you. A Philly, New York could go in the Sixers' favor, but also Toronto, Cleveland would be fascinating as a 4-5.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree. Maybe a little Charlotte versus Boston first round.
Uh,
Um,
we'll
all
see.
right.
We'll see what happens when JT comes back. That'll have to be uh, that'll be interesting.